Ganjo, hello everyone. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I wanted to do a collab here with Abby from the Rooted and Rest and Jessica from the Waldock Way. They are doing a fun collab, life skills, how you teach them or what you teach. I think everyone has their own life skills because, we're all going about life differently. Okay, so first let's talk about, there's so many life skills. I feel like, from money, right, finances, to tying your shoes. Like, what is a life skill? Something that we have to practice kind of daily, right? Washing dishes, helping with laundry, daily tasks, so we can continue thriving in our own journeys. We just, in our household, we just do life together. Let's see. So we have been teaching their first language and just kind of incorporating it since childbirth. So once our babies came out, we were teaching them our language. Again, just implementing it in our daily lives and our normal routines. And yeah, so that's one life skill, is just knowing their language and who they are, where they come from. And let's see, what's another? Telling time. Oh my gosh. Telling time is another life skill that I try to teach my children, but now with like Google and Alexa, at different homes, it's easy to see the time. And I don't like always looking at my phone. So, I'm looking at my watch, and now I'm teaching my girls, like, hey, when we're out, I'll show them what time it is, because when we're at home, there's usually some, the time's already, it's already telling us what time it is. On some type of appliance or some type of device, there's telling the time already. What's the answer? We already know. We see it right there on the clock. But I'll be like, cover your eyes and then look up and tell me the time. And then they'll be like, oh, it's too late. It's 12:51 or something, So it's nice that I have a watch. So when we're out, I can be like, oh, here is the time. Or here, can you tell me what time it is? So, just if we're in line at the grocery store, we can practice time. Like, hey, look at the time. What time is it? So just using all those little pockets of time to incorporate things like that. Another life skill I'm trying to teach is, tying our shoes, because that's important. And I feel like my oldest two and my niece, they learned at a very young age. I know my niece was like barely going on age 4, and she was already tying her shoes. So maybe she was 3, I can't remember. And then my oldest two, they're 10 and 12 now, but they were tying their shoe at a very early age. And now my 6-year-old, I don't know, it's like Crocs, Crocitis. Crocs came out, and all those fun slip-ons are now like so just there. And I know my youngest, she's just a huge Croc fan. And so she has yet to learn to tie her shoes, but I think incorporating a lot of fine motor skills, Play-Doh, pinching and putting things into certain categories, using those little tweezers and all of those different manipulative sensory tools. What else? There's so many fine motor skills. She's finger knitting since age 5, so even finger knitting. She's asking her sisters now to crochet. So a lot of those fine motor skills are going to benefit her. So when we are actually learning to tie shoes, she'll be ready. I feel like I know she'll pick it up because we're doing so many fine motor skills, which also ties into writing. I think writing's another fine motor skill, or another life skill that I would love my girls to learn, is just to pour out whatever's in their mind onto paper, and know whatever it is that's in their mind, they can put it onto paper, and whether they want to keep it or not, at least they are able to, bring it down into word form, right? Writing form. Another very important life skill that I think is so important, not just our family, but for the world, is to know our emotions and to understand our emotions and know that they are valid and important. I had created I don't even know what to call it, I know some people call it a calming corner or a feelings corner, all those kinds of things. I just have this little caddy that I was using for quite some time. I had it in different areas of the house. I used to have it with our homeschool area, and then I had it out in our like morning basket area, and then our circle time morning meeting area. And then, you know, it's always changing depending on, you know, the age of our children and what we're into at the time. And also, I've also had it in their rooms, because I noticed, you know, when they are going through a lot of emotions, sometimes we go to our rooms, onto our bed, in a personal safe spot we want to be in. So I even had put this in the room, so, you know, they're able to look at it and see, you know. I've now currently it's in our library shelf, because they know where it's at and they know what it is. They know what's in there, and, you know, if they need help or answers, they know they can come to me or whoever they would like to come to. But they also can look through our book, our little caddy here with all the little things to help them feel, to kind of get them through their emotions. So I have books in here. I don't think owning every single book is necessary, but I just accumulated them from the past 8 or 9 years. So this is one of them, a very fun one, all about feelings. So I'm just gonna show you, you know, a few pages here. I just like that they can go through here and know they're not alone, that every person on earth has different feelings, and their feeling can fluctuate. This is another fun one. Let me just show you a few pictures. Just like, how cute is that? Like, how like, oh my gosh, look at this cute dog. Let me show you the dog one. And I don't think having every single book of feelings is necessary. Again, I think this one is probably on top of my favorites, because I pull this one out more than others, because I like that it shows there's so many ways to help us control our feelings, like, especially, you know, there's so many ways. And here, like, for coping, there's my word, coping. A is for art, B is for breathe, C is for count to 10, D is for dance, E is for eat a healthy snack, and it goes all the way to Z, which is Z is for rest. So, oh my gosh, and then each page shows you, you know, something to go with that. So I absolutely love this one, of all of them. Of course, the other ones are very fun and great to have too, but that was my favorite. On top of this one, I like that they can see books, you know, of their themselves, you know, that they are not alone. Another one I enjoyed for teaching emotions is the Sharing Circle. Another one, this is also by an Indigenous author. It's from the Medicine Wheel Publishing. This one I got because I like this little thing here. And it flips over like that. And in the back it shows you, but if I do catch something that, you know, I'm not agreeing on, I'll let the girls, my kids, know, like, hey, you know, actually I don't know if I agree with that, and then we'll talk about it. I've also had this in our student store, and I found this at the Dollar Tree. This says, be kind to your mind. And just having fun little quotes like this around the house is like just a friendly reminder, like, we're not alone in this, you know, life. That okay, so also in my little caddy here, I'm always putting random things, and then if I get tired of it, I'll throw it out, donate it, because we got new things. And it's just kind of like fidgety stuff, you know, if they're angry, sad, or upset, or any frustrations, they can come in here and just kind of pick and choose little fidgets. I'll just put this in and hand it to them if they don't want to talk to anybody, or it's taking them a while to express their feelings or just open up. I'll just say, hey, you know what, here's this, and just let them know that that's there for them. I added this. My sister made a yo-yo because my youngest got sad she didn't have one, and big sisters did. So she made her this fun cardboard yo-yo. So we ended up putting it in here because I even have little things, because sometimes just distracting and using our muscles, you know, exercise, right? We can also exercise our little fingers. They can clip it onto like little paper books on here, you know, and just go all the way around. And so I have those in there for fun. I have some things we get at birthday parties, or, you know, Easter coming soon, so they're gonna get random little things. and I'll throw that in here. We used to have a little like lava thing. You know, those sensory bottles too were in here before, but I'm always changing it out to keep it different. And where's all my 90s moms? We have this. Oh my gosh, this is like, this one I didn't need to change out. Like, they're always enjoying this. I think this is the OG of fidgets. I don't know, but this is fun. Even the one with the key, I have that in here. These are just random things. Random things in a little random case we got, like erasers that are little puzzles they can take off and put together. Let's see what's in here. Little bandages, just like they can wrap their little kitty if their kitty is not feeling good, or they can bandage her or wrap her in a blanket. So fun little things. Little bracelet if they want to wear a bracelet and just feel that. So yeah, lots of little random fidgets. And then here's this with the key, and they can play with that. Again, everything in here is always changing out, except for this one they love, and they don't always get it, and so they're like, ah, and so they'll just come back to it. And it's also like a great learning skill, you know, life skill to learn, is how do you open a lock? You know, there's not very many anymore, you know, lockers that I know of, that where we live, they kind of been slowly getting rid of them completely, as my nephew has been telling me. So that's another life skill, is just teaching my kids about emotions and how we can cope and, you know, ask for help and things like that. A big thing I do, I had this in it was in our kitchen, but I took it off so I can show you, and I would practice being that emotion. So we want to practice, you know, being angry. We're going to practice being angry and pretend, you know, because it's nice to pretend to be angry before it actually happens. We want to know how we can deal with those angers, you know. And I put here, notice that you're frustrated. And I also let them know, you know, when I'm going through an emotion, and let them know, like, that I'm asking for help too. So it's just so important. That's just another life skill. It's important that my children know, you know, how to deal with these emotions, because even though we're not in public school, knowing your emotions and how to cope with them are so important throughout life. And yeah, but that's just a few of the life skills, and a little bit how we implement them in our normal daily lives. And I hope you found this video a little bit inspiring, and you guys have a great one. We'll see you next.